In today's video, we're talking about MasterCheck again. If you aren't already familiar with MasterCheck, then I would recommend watching an introduction to MasterCheck or how to master for streaming before you watch this video. MasterCheck was designed primarily with mastering in mind, the clue is in the name. But is it just for mastering, or can you use this plugin for mixing too? There are plenty of reasons why it makes sense to use MasterCheck for mixing too. On a very basic level, it makes sense to keep some kind of loudness meter on the end of your master bus in order to monitor the loudness of your mix. A pretty standard album master might end up somewhere around -11 or -12 LKFS. So if you're bouncing out a mix which already hits a similar figure, then you aren't giving the mastering engineer much breathing space. It isn't a hard and fast rule, but for me personally, I generally aim for -19 or -20 LKFS on my mixes. For similar reasons, the peak to loudness ratio is also worth monitoring. MasterCheck has two peak to loudness measurements, a short-term measurement or PSR at the top of the GUI, and a long-term measurement or PLR on the left. A high PLR value generally means that your mix or master has a pretty wide dynamic range. Of course, there are no hard and fast rules, but a fairly standard digital master might have a PLR value somewhere between 7 and 13. Lower than that and things will start to sound overly compressed. Much higher than that and the track will require additional limiting in order to be played back on certain streaming services. Again, as a mix engineer, you want to give the mastering engineer as much breathing space as possible, so it makes sense to keep the peak to loudness ratio as high as you can, as long as it doesn't negatively impact the mix. The codec section in MasterCheck allows mastering engineers to hear ahead of time how the loudness normalization and encoding processes will affect a master on various streaming platforms. This means you can make tweaks ahead of time without any nasty surprises when you finally hear your track on Spotify, YouTube or Apple Music, but there's no reason why the exact same principle can't be applied at the mixing stage. Even though your mix will probably be significantly quieter than the eventual master, MasterCheck's offset to match function still allows you to apply the same loudness normalization before auditioning each codec. So for example, if one particular platform seems to affect your top end in a nasty way, you can make informed decisions and tweak the mix accordingly. As always, you can visit the Nugent Audio website for a free trial of MasterCheck. Thank you for watching.